Therapy Army, welcome to Newcastle United, Manchester United. Match reaction. Big up to everybody. Let me see if it's a bit closer, better here. If we do that like that. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Hope you're all well. Yeah, Manchester United were shite as usual. I actually think defensively we just defended like dogs. I don't think we created anything, but some of you guys can let me know what you guys think. Yeah. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Marcus Spaghetti, hoops hair, Rashford needs sticking and in reserves. I genuinely, honestly, I'm not lying to you guys. I think it's the players, and I also think it's the tactics of the manager. The manager has not got a clue. I don't know what's happened to Erik ten Hag, but this is not the Erik ten Hag who actually last season could play for a result, could make his teams very hard to beat. I actually think we were going to get whacked, but we didn't get whacked. But there was only one team that wanted to win that football game and dominated that football game, and that was Newcastle. I don't know what you guys think. Can you guys hear me clearly, by the way? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? People, can you hear me? Honestly, it was a joke. Watching that was a joke. Bombay, big up to you. Everything I predicted, I said they're gonna have a bit more strength in terms of like aggression, intensity, physicality. They did everything to us. The only thing is that they didn't make as many chances, and this team has 11 players injured, by the way. 11 players injured. And they lost Nick Pope as well. That's 12 players now injured. So what is this showing me is that it's crazy. Big up to all of you. Erik ten Hag and his tactics, man, honestly. I mean, what more excuses can I make? And I'm somebody that supports Erik ten Hag. I mean, I'm running out of excuses for this manager. I think he wants to get sacked. I really think he wants to get sacked. Sajinda put it right on the head. I think that's probably one of the best comments on tonight's show. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, people. Yeah. Big up to you, Bombay. Bombay, how did you see that game?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
How did I see that game?
Yeah.
I was taking notes during the game.
With everything I say last night, can I ask you, can you tell me which team had the aggression, the physicality, the intensity?
I've never seen us second best by such a distance, in spite of the fact that it was one goal in it. The gulf between the two teams is so vastly more than that. It made me feel a little bit like the Barcelona final, the first one when Park Ji-sung and Valencia played, where we're almost just watching the game in front of us and doing nothing about it. That tonight is one of the most frustrating and angry I am with that performance. I mean, at 18 minutes there was a Livramento moment. A ball was just played through. Rashford stood there. Wan-Bissaka is basically through.
Yeah, saw that.
Tonight there was absolutely no help whatsoever from Rashford and Garnacho. Zero. Rashford, just to be clear, is the worst player on the pitch for me tonight.
Who's
I've
that?
never seen such a poor performance from him in my life.
From who?
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
I mean, the way Livramento was taking the piss. There's no chemistry. There's no chemistry whatsoever in this team developing anywhere.
and you know the funniest thing? We huffed and puffed for the last 10 minutes of
Yeah,
the game.
exactly. As soon as it comes to the last 10 minutes added on injury time, we could have got something out of the game. Not that I wanted anything out of that game. I really didn't. It would have been just horrible. We were chasing shadows tonight. Um, just there, like 11 guys put on a red shirt just so this game could take place. But we're just chasing shadows. Nothing going for us. I don't think some of the boys are playing for Erik ten Hag anymore. I just don't think they believe in him. and he's not able to get it through to their heads how awful this is. If they watch this back tonight, they've got to surely feel like apologetic for themselves and for the fans. That is not acceptable. That really is unacceptable.
And it's only going to get worse because of the teams that we're playing. I think Chelsea are going to outschool us.
Chelsea are next, yeah. What I'd say as well, I was watching closely tonight for the overloads. We
Yeah.
didn't switch the ball once in the whole game, I don't think. So the idea of we're trying to get overloads is just an idea in theory that I haven't seen in practice whatsoever this evening at all. Go back, cast your mind to a time where we had an overload and we switched it to the other side. Can you think of one? I can't think of this. I can't remember seeing it once. Um, at 58 minutes, bro, they'd had 18 shots on target to 2. At Everton, they broke their record. They had 24 shots on our goal. And you saw the kind of stuff they were doing. These weren't like 30 yarders. They were cutting through. They were cutting through us. Um, 2 years, another stat for you, since we have won away at a top 8 team.
Facts.
Okay. We were absolutely second to every single ball tonight.
Facts.
And I mean, there's nothing I can tell you that I took one thing good in that game. I am going to say, though, listen, you're probably going to say whatever you say. At a certain point, a defense will cave if it's just them against the other 11 players.
Mhm.
I really did feel sorry for Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw today. Honestly, I thought they tried their balls off. They worked. You know what? They didn't have a bad game for me. But
Yeah, but
Wan-Bissaka
now,
was
to be honest with you, I'm sorry, Bombay, I don't agree. They had everybody back behind the ball helping them. So that was a decent tactic. We didn't play as open as we usually play. Everybody was
bro.
back defending, but they were still coming through us. They were still,
They were walking through the midfield.
yeah.
The attack wasn't getting back to helping defense at all. You had Wan-Bissaka had an awful first half, a dreadful first half for me.
Because they
Uh,
isolated him, they targeted him and
Not that
isolated.
Livramento had the better of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? It's not like him. He was sluggish today. Delo faded as the game went on. I just felt that the amount of stuff that was coming into that box for Maguire and Shaw to deal with, they dealt with really well. They were in the right place. I mean, Maguire saved 2 golden chances that are deflected off him twice. So I really felt for those two today. I think the worst player on the pitch tonight, without a shadow of a doubt, is Marcus Rashford. And the disconcerting thing with that is he is now one of the senior players that has been playing for us for 7 years. No doubt about it. He has got ability, but he cannot be leaving the pitch and thinking, "Why have I been dragged off?" You were dreadful, son. And you've got to be setting an example for Garnacho, for Pelistri. You're our talisman. We put a lot of stock in you. And the way that he was walking back, he was getting beat so easily. His mind is not there. Something's wrong with him. His mind is literally, maybe it's the girlfriend thing is back. He is, and you know me, bro. It takes a lot for me to come at Rash like this. Honestly, it was unreal tonight what I was watching from him.
Well, that's what
I
I've been
thought,
seeing the majority of the season.
fair enough. I thought Scott McTominay. I'm another McTominay is a decent. Wow,
I
that
told you.
boy is supposed to be the one thing I never questioned with Scott is forget on the ball and progressing play from midfield. And usually there's some aggression about him. You put him in, you think, give us a little bit of steel there, Scott. He was just like a guy who is stood in front of me, but I know he's not going to do much tonight, so I can just play my thing, play my football, chasing shadows all night. You know what? And Bruno for me, bro. Honestly, again, I was listening to Les Ferdinand and Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes said, "I'd love to be in the dressing room just to see what Eric Ten Hag wants from Bruno. If he's got a free role, fine. Because Bruno, bro, I love him. I think he's a top player. You know what? I can't fault the amount of work he puts in. He's the only one tonight. Kobe's giving it to Bruno. He's the only one in that team that's going to turn on a sixpence when he's surrounded and try and make something happen. And that was it tonight. But who's he giving it to? He's giving it to Martial, who just seems to fall over now. That's all he does. Do you know that Anthony Martial's not completed 90 minutes once in 3 years?
Facts.
Yeah? And who's he giving it to tonight? Marcus Rashford. He was nowhere to be seen. He was absent-minded. Garnacho now all of a sudden, just get my head down. God knows. You've got to do the basics, boys. You've got to work. We talked about this last night. You've got to work. Moani said it. This is a blue-collar, hard-working team. Absolutely. We won not one second ball tonight.
I
We were
said it.
second to everything.
Everything I said
Everything
last
you
night.
said came times 10.
Everything. I watched them. I knew. And the only thing I said, guys, is that there might be a hangover for them because of Paris Saint-Germain, the way they tactics, the way they played. But everything else I predicted. And I'm telling you now, the only thing is that maybe Maguire defensively blocked a couple of shots, but they were always going to beat us. And they beat us on a transition, and it was back post. And we talked about Trippier being one of their big players. I also talked about this kid, the kid that scored. I said specifically, Gordon is becoming a massive player for them, massive match winner for them.
Honestly,
And it was those two that was
it's not
involved.
on.
At the end of the day, we play the ball. Luke Shaw plays a daft ball. They get bullied. I said physicality, they're going to bully us. They're going to bring more intense. And actually, you see our players. Our players, I told you last night that Manchester United do not press. They do shadow pressing. Shadow fucking pressing. Well, Newcastle do proper press. When Newcastle press, they all go. The whole team goes. We go half-hearted and we get in each other's fucking way. I told you guys. I said it. I've said it. I watched them, and there was only one winner tonight. And actually, we might actually be lucky that we walked away from there with a 1-0. 1-0 is not
So,
a feeling.
I'm not joking. That you know what, people should be getting fines tonight. Some of the walking around, as people are saying in the comments, is very hard to believe. I'm watching. I'm watching that. I can't
Listen,
believe what I'm seeing.
listen. I said it to
Um,
you last night. I said to you,
I
they might
can't believe it.
have, they might have 11
Honestly,
players out. They might have 11 players out, but they might have 11 players out, but, but
no,
they
no, no.
will still
Listen,
play
this
the
this,
same
this
way.
is at the.
They still play the same way. And this is
This
our
is
next
not
fixtures,
acceptable.
people. This is our next fixtures: Chelsea, Bayern, Aston Villa, Liverpool, West Ham. This is it, people. This football is unsustainable. I keep saying that. I think Eric Ten Hag is done out here.
Do
For
you know what?
somebody, and for
Do you-
somebody who backs him, his football is becoming very unsustainable. Unsustainable. His football, the way he talks at the end of the game. Sheikh Arian, can you please get me some of quotes, if you can? The quotes from Eric Ten Hag after the game, please. Because some of the waffle, it's just a waffle. It's just crazy. The only thing I would say, maybe, I don't know if VAR checked it, but that tackle on Bruno looked really nasty. And then sometimes another VAR would give that as a red card. The referee said the guy got the ball, but he never got the ball. Shah never got the ball. So that's the only thing to me to moan about anything about the referees tonight, was that should have been a red card because he stamped him. And if that's Casemiro on a Newcastle player, it's a straight red. We know it. We
Bro,
know
just can you just excuse me for 1 minute, please?
it. Yeah. They got Bombay with his madness stuff in the background. Switch to play, you realise Pogba anymore. Right here, depending on Bruno McTominay, you want to play. Listen, I told you about McTominay, guys. Everything I said, if you guys do not believe me, I broke it down last night. I broke down how they're going to be, how Newcastle were going to play in possession, how they were going to play without possession, how they were going to press us. I broke it all down. Other than Manchester United, in the last 10 minutes, are banking on a hoof ball and long throw-ins. Forget about creating anything. And that Anthony goal is clear as day offside. He's literally touched it. He's offside. So we can't moan about that. Rashford, man. Listen, I told you about that guy. Him and Bruno should be dropped. I told you. Eric Ten Hag learned last season to play through Bruno and Rashford, and Rashford is on the worst form of his career, and Bruno is just not that guy because he doesn't keep the ball. He plays quick hoofball, and it's not. You need to keep possession. Manchester United tonight could not put more than 5 passes together. You can't expect to go away and win playing against a team like Newcastle or any other big team. Only we've been the form team in the league because we played at bottom 6, and we were gonna get found out. I'm telling you now, I expect Chelsea to come and ball out at Old Trafford on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I'm sure it is Wednesday. They're gonna come to Old Trafford and ball out. They're gonna come to Old Trafford OT and ball out. I'm telling you, they're coming to OT to go and ball out. That's what I'm talking about. So let me just check the fixtures.
I'm back, bro.
Yeah, let me just check the fixtures for Manchester United. Let me just check Manchester United. Yeah, Manchester United, Chelsea. Is it this Wednesday? Is it this Wednesday coming up? Yeah, I think it's this Wednesday. Let me just go 1 second. Just bear with me, people. Bear with me. Manchester United fixtures. Yep. Yeah, Chelsea this Wednesday, and then Saturday it is Bournemouth. So yeah, honestly, guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Wan-Bissaka's awful. Yeah. Well, he can only be so good so many times, but there's no help. Who was helping him tonight? Did anybody track back and help him? Eric Ten Hag out Nuruddin. Nuruddin is the next manager. No, honestly, I promise you, I'm not going to lie to you. I will drill them into not giving up space. I will not have players walking around the football pitch.
Look, he's out.
You.
He's out. He's out of his depth.
I'm
Tonight,
telling you
at
now.
the end of the game, there was an image of Eric Ten Hag on his own. I don't know if you saw it. Just looking, thinking, what's actually happening? It looks like he's been smashed across the head with a frying pan. He's bamboozled. It's too big for him. It's too big for him. He's losing them. There's no point in giving him time. There's no more time. Time for what? They're getting worse. The team is getting worse.
Yeah.
And look, let's be honest, right? When you get results, yeah, it buys you time. But tonight just brings back the last 5 wins that we've had. We're scraping over the line with them wins. We're not playing good football. We're not deserving it. We're not busting teams up. And the lads were saying it tonight, man. Paul Scholes, do you know what? He was asked, I don't know if you saw it after the game, Scholes, sum it up for us, Paul. On live TV, he just said that was rubbish. That's the word, dude. Rubbish. Nobody's running around, nobody's trying. Just an embarrassing, dejected performance, man, of a team that is at the end. They need, how you say to me sometimes, you know what? Play the kids, man. Play the kids.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, not play the kids. I just need a new manager. Honestly, I need a new manager. I can't continue with this one.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I said last season, everybody was cheering him on. You were one of his biggest cheerleaders. We're in 4 competitions. We're getting a trophy. And I was warning everybody, no, I'd rather he implemented a style of fucking play rather than chasing bullshit Europa League games and the fucking Haribo Cup. Tom, welcome to the stream. Tom,
Easy, Tom.
It's becoming very difficult to defend Eric Ten Hag. But these players have been shit for a long time. Let me just get this super chat and I'll get you in. Sean already says, big up Sean, by the way. Thank you so much.
Sean.
I think of Munich, the tragedy and the beautiful club being destroyed from inside since 2004. It's disgusting. Sir Alex Ferguson is to blame. His ego. Well, some people say that, brother, but you know what? Let's get this in. It is what it is, but it's becoming really difficult to defend him. Well, how did you see the game tonight, Tom?
Shit show. Honestly, shit show. Minute 1 to minute 9, shit show. Their goalkeeper got injured and hacked off before we even had a shot on target, guys.
Yeah.
It's just fucking disgraceful. It really is now. And I'm at the end of my tether with it. I said it from that Bayern Munich game when we played them in their own stadium. I said, we don't have a style of play. We really don't. But
But Tom,
I wasn't cussing for him at that point and ready to go. But now he's got to. He's got to go for us to progress because we're regressing now. We are regressing. He's got most of his players back. And I know what you're going to say. Who do we go and get? I know what you're already going to say. And to be completely honest with you, I haven't got a fucking clue.
Antonio
But we
Conte,
can't
man.
continue. We can't.
I swear, I'm telling you guys.
Bleach my eyes. Bleach my eyes.
Do you know what? Do you know why I'm saying
let
that?
Tom finish.
Sorry,
Let Tom
sorry. Go
finish.
ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Big up
Bleach
Steve,
my
by the way.
eyes. I don't want to hear Conte, Simeone, or any of that shite. No, please, Jesus Christ.
That's
Listen,
exactly what you mean.
if we have Eric Ten Hag, or we don't, the result's going to be the same, guys. We're not making top four, so that's a pipe dream. We're not winning any trophies. We're not competing. So we're basically keeping this guy for a year to do what? Nothing. And he's not even implementing any style of play. So we're just going to waste the year. You can't do that. Not at Manchester United. You can't sit around on your hands and do nothing. So I'm sorry. If this guy's... When we brought this guy in, and the thing that swayed this guy over going and getting Mauricio Pochettino or Oli Chino in Nuruddin's case was what? The way that he played with Ajax. That's what we was all hooked on. We're all hooked like everybody was hooked on cocaine. That's what we was with Eric Ten Hag.
Tell them, Tom. Tell them.
But he comes here, he plays it for 2 games against Brighton and Brentford, shits the bed, and then reverts to type and says, all right, I'm not going to do that now. You don't go to any other football club and try and be something that you're not, and that's what he's doing. What he knows, he's not implementing here, and he said he's never going to implement it. So what is he going to do? He's doing something that he's not known for doing, and he doesn't have the track record of playing that way. So what in Jesus Christ and Mary and Joseph are we doing? At the end of the day, if we get rid of the guy or we keep him, the result's going to be the same, guys. Even with an interim, you're not making top 4. So what I suggested anyway when I went on Mick and Jarvis' show earlier, anyway, big up to him, was that if we get rid of him, get an interim in. I don't care. Put Fletcher in there. Listen, let's make up a fans advisory thing, coaching staff for this end of the season. I really don't care. Get a committee in place and get the structure in place. And for the full rest of the season, I don't care if it's from Christmas till the end of the season, write the whole season off completely from scratch and go and wait for the right manager to become available. That's what I would do. Go and wait for the right manager. And if the right one's out there, I don't care if it's someone who's experienced, who's won the lot. The likes of, I don't know if I wanted to put a name out there, like a Carlo Ancelotti sort of manager, for example, who's got the trophies, who's got the high level. Do I think it's the right model? No. But I'm not going to sit around.
We've been down that road already.
This is what I mean. I'm not going to sit on this road and this narrative of we're just going to sit with Eric Ten Hag and play because we're doing nothing different. The guy hasn't got the bollocks to drop Rashford, who can't be asked to run. He didn't even make a plane trip to Turkey and he couldn't be asked to run after Livramento. Shocking. But at the end of the day, what are we, guys? We're just Manchester United fans. And at the end of the day, we've been starved of success. And in the last fucking 6-7 years, we've been starved of good football. I can't even remember the last time we've played a season. Forget 5 matches or these 10-match winning runs. A season where I've actually enjoyed it, guys.
It's too big of an ask. You're not going to get that.
It's too big of a job for this guy. It's too big. End of story. It's too big.
You know what?
He never had any big. He didn't have the big. He didn't have the big CV. But the only thing that he had was that style of play, and he's already said he's not going to play it. So what are we working towards? Shite and nothing. So at the end of the day, listen. People can say what they want in the chat and say rinse and repeat. What's the new manager going to come in and do? Listen, probably fuck all and probably nothing. But I'm not going to sit here and wait around for somebody in Eric Ten Hag who's going to do what? Not play what he's known for playing. So what are we going to do? We've spent £500 million and we've got worse. Worse, guys, worse. And I'm not here for this shite around nostalgia for players. But at the end of the day, guys, we're all right. In about, the last 5 years, we've still got McTominay in midfield. I mean, we've still got Rashford. We've still got Martial at the football club. Maguire's still here, Luke Shaw's still here, and what have we won in that time? Absolute Jackanory, fuck all. So, end of story, guys. Listen, nothing's going to change with these group of players, absolutely no. But nothing's also going to change coaching-wise, because what can he implement now, guys? He's blown a bomb, ticking time bomb with every single player in the squad. Varane, Casemiro, Rashford. He's probably had issues with Martial, Sancho. The list goes on. He turfed Ronaldo out of this football club. The guy's rinsed every single one of our players. And he's not exactly painting himself in glory with a style of play right now. And this is what I mean, guys. What we're working towards, absolutely nothing. So if you keep him, you'll just have this same shite for the rest of the season. We'll be out of the Champions League next week, guaranteed. We'll be out. We won't make Europe. We won't make Europe next season anyway. We're going to get embarrassed going away to Liverpool, go away to everywhere. Listen, I don't care. Bring in Darren Fletcher and play 11 versus 11. Park the bus at Anfield and lose 3-4-0. I'd rather that than lose 10.
Listen, is Shay carry on making this shit up?
Listen, let me just come in. Eric Ten Hag, the team is resilient. We have a plan. We keep going. We'll talk with my team. But we stayed in the game. In the end, we had some good chances. What chances did we have? What game was he fucking watching?
Mate. The only chance that we had, it came off our own player anyway. So what? It didn't even count as a chance. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm going to throw the question out there, even to people in the chat, if they want to, put their answers in the comments. Yeah. Even if you go with this guy, the one thing that baffles me is you have a performance like Anthony put in against Galatasaray. He can't get a game. You have the performance that some players put in that game, like McTominay, apart from scoring the goal, the absolute jack all, still starts. What are we like? What is this obsession with our homegrown players? It's as if it's a nostalgia that they have to play. The academy at United's done nothing in 10 years. Name me an academy player in this squad that's won the Premier League, won the Champions League, won anything, guys.
Tom, to be fair, we're not set up like a football team that's here to win. Jarvis, welcome. We talked about it last night. We broke it down. Did you see anything different from what we said last night, Jarvis?
Did you like the overloads?
Yeah. Fuck the overloads, because this was shit. There's nothing to, I've been sitting here at Opta trying to figure out what's been going on. I've been searching for stats. Nothing. There's nothing.
We're scratching for stats, guys. This is how deep it goes.
There's nothing positive.
Jarvis, you don't need the stats.
But we are. I always want to try to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. What is going on? Why doesn't things work? But today, it all comes down to effort. Newcastle, they outworked us. They have much better players. It's like kids against men. They had nothing.
Better coach, Jarvis. Yep. Let's not get away from it. Jarvis, I know you don't think sacking Eric Ten Hag's going to fix it, but are you losing patience with Eric Ten Hag? Is he becoming indefensible at the moment?
Yeah, if it continues like this, of course, because it's important that a manager have the players backing, and now it feels like the players don't work for the manager. You can see it on Rashford. He didn't care. He didn't care out there. Livramento, he just dribbled him and ran. Rashford, he slowly turned and walked home. How do you play for the manager if you do something like that? Rashford, he's throwing him under the bus at the moment. So key players in the squad is throwing the manager under the bus, because if he really believed in Ten Hag and in the team and bled for the badge and fight for the shirt, he would have run his socks off, but he didn't. He just stood there and watched. Well, meet Livramento.
Yeah, listen. I said everything I said last night came true. The only thing that was the goals that was missing, and that's in large part to the way we defended. So big up to everybody, the way we defended. In terms of like the way Manchester United defended, because at times we got people behind the ball, we made it tough for them. But I told you McTominay was going to be a ghost. I told you that Manu was going to be isolated. I told you Bruno was going to do what Bruno does. I told you that Rashford, if Rashford played, we're not going to get anything. And that's why I specifically picked that team last night. I picked that team last night because I wanted to see something different, and I wanted people to get back and fight and do all of that. But it didn't. At the end of the day, we offered nothing up front. I felt sorry for Martial actually because he was just running around, getting ball passed around him. We didn't create one chance for him. And then Rashford did what he did. And then the young lad, he played him again, and we said he looked shattered against Galatasaray. And again, he's coming out. The team is resilient. We've seen it after City. We had the bad defeat, and we stick together. We have a plan. We have to keep going. Can you let us know what fucking plan is? Can we see that fucking plan? Because we have no clue. And it's because his attitude in the game, the manager, Martial, and the Frenchman arrogantly dismissed him with his hand.
Man, fuck this. Fuck this.
What was this? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. His hand. That's bullshit, man. Alfie, what are you trying to say, man? That's bullshit. Oh, God. Listen, at the end of the day, there's 500 of you watching, nearly 500 you people. Please smash a like on the video.
Smash the like.
That's the least you can do because we predicted this. We broke this down last night tactically. Me, Jarvis, Bumbaye, Luani, we broke it all down. We said that.
Look at these fixtures, Nuri. Look at these fixtures.
Yeah, I've got them on here. Chelsea.
Good luck.
Bournemouth on Saturday. So next Wednesday we play Chelsea. Bournemouth on Saturday. And then we play Bayern Munich. Then Liverpool after that on the 17th. And then we got West Ham away. Then we've got Villa at home. And then Nottingham Forest away. Then Spurs at home. December the 30th. That's what we've got. So for me, I think Erik ten Hag is just rabbit in the headlights. Rabbit in the fucking headlights. He doesn't have a clue. For me, a lot of people that were cheering him, I stopped cheering him after the January, and I said that this was going to continue. And who the hell am I? I'm a guy who lives in Hume. Yet again, I'm vindicated. A lot of people were calling me negative. I said it again in the space tonight where you were in there, Jarvis. I said, intensity, aggression, all of those things, they're going to beat us. They're going to beat us. They're going to be more aggressive than us. And there we showed it clearly. And this is a team that was tired, by the way. They've been tired from PSG, emotionally, mentally drained, disappointed. And they still had that energy. And Erik ten Hag, and people then can say now, Harry Maguire comes out with, oh, we've played so many games. That's all they've got. That's the 11 they have to play. Because they've got 12 players injured now.
Two goalkeepers and 4 young kids is their bench. That's 6 of their players.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, people.
Nuruddin, tabloid question for you.
But listen, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I 100%, I'm sick of just sacking the manager. I want the board gone. I want the owners gone. I want the football structure all gone. If Erik ten Hag's going to go, I want all of it gone. And I want any of these shit prima donna players, all
That's
of them.
What I was saying. Yeah.
I want all of them gone. I just want
reset.
to isolate the manager. He's not just the manager to blame. I want every fucking bastard out of this fucking football club. Every one of them. Because this has not happened in this season, last season. It's been 10 years in the fucking making. That is what's going on at Manchester United. If you think this is just him and this season, no, it's not. The whole way we're run, the club is rotten to the core. It needs to be done with and start again. That's what it needs to do. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the tabloid question. Are you Ten Hag in or out? But you answered it quite nicely.
I'm sick of just sacking a manager thinking rinse and repeat. I'm sorry, Jarvis. If the football was stable, if the football club was stable, I'd be like, get him gone. I'm not attached to any player anymore. I'm not attached to any manager. I've learned the hard way. If the club was stable enough, if I trusted the stability of the football club, the board and the ownership of the football club, I'd be like, see you later, mate. We're just hiring coaches. You're here to coach. If you can't coach, see you later. And for me, Ten Hag, already sacked himself, Jarvis, when he said, I'm not here to play with the football I was playing at Ajax.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you know. That's what you know. Why are you not doing it?
I'm like, what's going on? Ten Hag, why am I sticking with Andrew Onana? I explain after that. Listen, oh, behave yourself, man. Listen, Onana should not have played. He should have been dropped. For me, if you want to follow this top, this is what I'm saying to you, Jarvis. You cannot have half disciplinarian. You can't do it halfway. If you're a strict disciplinarian, if that's what you're going for at Manchester United as their manager, if that's what you're going for, then you need to drop players when they play bad. You need to drop players who speak to the press. You need to make an example of everybody who don't listen to you. So to me, so everybody can see it. But when you're playing players, you think you can play them into form because last season your home game plan was to play through Bruno and Rashford, and both of them are not at it in the Premier League, especially when it comes against big teams, because none of them can keep the ball, right? Keep the ball. Then, if that's your only game plan, then I'm sorry to say, we hired you for a specific thing, and now you're not delivering that, and it's very difficult to win. But for me, I'm looking at the club holistically. I'm looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture for me says they're going to get another manager, and it's going to go wrong in 2 years' time again. That's been the cycle, Jarvis. Nothing this football club is telling me is going to change. So who are we going to get now? We're going to have Steve McLaren and Darren Fletcher as interims. I don't want that. I don't want that. Let me just get this super chat. Big up to Miasi. Big up to Ben. Let me just get this Ben's. Big up. Question to the panel. To play Ten Hag ball possession football, how many technical plays do we have to have from defense attack? Free Palestine, people. I've lost my voice because me and Bumpire were out there on the street today, giving it some, because you know we're always doing it. Big up. Let me just get Miasi. Top of the league. Favorite and the best attacking force in Europe. Big up, Miasi. You know what? I'll give it to you. I can't argue. For once, I would say Miasi smoking something, right? But I can't. Guys, there's 500 watching. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. You're not going to get raw, real, honest opinion about the game as you're going to get on here anywhere else on YouTube. Trust me. I'm not even at home. I'm at my friends who made me three-course dinner. And you know what? I literally forced them to watch that bag of shite. They're not into football. I got them.
Still friends.
I got that to watch the bag of shite.
You're still friends.
Honestly,
Hey, listen, we need to answer that question on the super chat, though, man.
Go on.
Well, ask yourself: is he buying players that are technical? Is he deploying players that are all technical to play out from the back? And given what he's spent and what he's bought, do we look like a team that plays out from the back? So how long is a piece of string? Is my answer to you, my friend. I just don't know.
No. To be fair, if I had to pinpoint it, guys, for us all, I can only think of one player that he's brought in that's a technical player, and that's Martinez. That's the only technical player, realistically, that I can sit here and say, yeah, Anthony's not that. Casemiro's not that. He wanted more. Eriksen, maybe 5-6 years ago, but not this Eriksen right now. He doesn't have the legs to be a fully efficient technical player. Listen, with the ball at his feet, he's great, but running with it or moving with it, can't do it. He's not got the legs for it anymore. Eriksen 3-4 years ago, different player. But at the end of the day, with the way that this team that he's built right now, he's got some of these players that he wanted, but he's not playing them. Amrabat, he's a player that he wanted. He's not playing him. Reguilon, you wanted an emergency loan, Erik ten Hag, instead of playing the young kid Alvaro Fernandez. Right, well, why the hell are you not using him? Why? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. I think he hit the ball twice. If a Newcastle player went stuck there, he probably scores twice. At the end of the day, the way that we were set up from minute one, guys, even if you got to the 80th minute where we actually started to get a bit of the ball, what really happened? Nothing. The final third was toothless again. And this is the thing. The one thing that we all said from last season was the team was unified, but the biggest thing that we had was the defence was solid. Forget, and I don't want to hear this nostalgia about injuries, forget that, because players were chopping and changing towards the end of the season and we were still grinding out results. So that's not an excuse. Yeah. There's no excuse right now to be playing the way that we are because of injuries. Newcastle had 4 kids on the bench and 2 goalkeepers. That's 6 of their players on their bench, and they play better football than us. They've got 12 first-team players out. Come talk to me now. Talk to me now, because that Newcastle squad, they've spent half the money on it, and they're not even done yet, Nuruddin. They're not even John Jarvis, being coached week in, week out, high performance, high intensity, fitness levels, bang, through the roof. They went to Paris, got vindicated in a dodgy VAR decision, come back to Newcastle, and they play the exact same way. Home or away, they stick by the principles, and that's what we should do as a club. But you can't stick by anything that you can't see, because we can't see anything right now. It is literally, and I'll just make this last point, it's literally Onana hits it 60 yards, run after it. Run after it. That's it.
Yeah.
That is the way that we've played.
Maguire.
Forget Ten Hag. Listen. Forget Ten Hag. That was under Ole. That was even as far as under Jose. 5 years of the same stuff, guys. 3 different managers, 3 different styles of play, 3 supposedly different sets of players. But he's not bought the players to play the way that he's known for. So he's got himself in this mess. And he's got himself that deep, guys. He's got no money left. They've burned the money in the windows. He's not going to get backed in January because we don't have any money as it is anyway. And at the end of the day, when a proper sporting director comes into this football club, supposedly under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whether it's Mitchell, whether it's Nuruddin, whether it's whoever, they will look at this and identify something is not working with this coaching team. When a new owner comes in, they tend to get rid of everybody and make a fresh start. Complete fresh start.
Listen to
so
me,
if they're going to start Nuruddin, and I agree completely with what you said earlier, and I think it was facts what you said. If you're going to get rid of the manager, you get rid of the CEO, you get rid of the sporting director, you get rid of the fitness department, you get rid of the
medical department,
recovery, coaching staff, kit men. Get rid of a lot of them and start from scratch. Complete scratch. And I don't care if for 2-3 years we do nothing as a club, if it means that we build towards something. The goal this season was always top 4. With or without Erik ten Hag, if you want to put McLaren there, you want to put Fletcher there, listen, us 4 of us can make a coaching staff. We ain't making top 4. It's as simple as that. Forget top 4, because it's not happening. Top 5 even. Not happening.
Tom, let me just come in there 1 second. I'll play this right. The difference between Manchester United, this is what Newcastle used to be, by the way. But they were even worse because they will fight relegation and shit like that because they had a horrific owners. They had the fans were like disillusioned. As soon as they got bought, fresh start for everybody. And these players now know Newcastle will have got the money and the might to go and replace them. So these players, when they get out on the pitch, they're playing for their careers.
I'll give you one better. Two
Manchester United dole out the biggest contracts, the biggest wages in Premier League football, and those players have zero to prove. Everybody's getting paid. That is the fucking difference. That proves my point when I tell you, manager up this game, coaching staff up their game. They brought in a new directors of football. The fitness, every aspect in every department is up the game because the owners have changed and the owners want to win. This is the difference. But I'm going to ask you the last question because I'm at my friends and I feel kind of rude. So we're going to cut it short. We can continue this for the next 10 hours. We'll probably I might do a calling show on Monday. So I'm going to go to Bombaye. Bombaye, listen, I genuinely do not believe, and I'll be a lying. It is so convenient now for everybody to be Erik ten Hag out. Everybody saying it, get him out, get him out. I wish I could say that because I don't believe it. If I was to say it, I don't believe it because my principle is simple. I want the whole lot gone. Then I want to restart with a whole.
Let me put that into a realistic context, a context that we are actually existing in. In an ideal world, I'd like the Glazers gone. I'd like Sheikh Jassim to come in. I'd like Jim Ratcliffe to take. I'm just saying. Let me. I want to talk. I want to talk reality, guys. I don't want to talk idealism because idealism.
It's what I want. It's not idealism.
It's an ideal situation.
Listen, I don't think you understand when I say to you, in a decade, we follow the same shit for a decade. Nothing has changed. Tell me there's something that's going to come in and change it. The idea is one person. Manchester United fans love a savior. We love somebody to blame. No. But I'm telling you, there is not a savior that's going to save us. The club is fucking rotten from head to toe.
Look,
for a decade.
have a little bit of a different point of view to you, and I will share it with you. I am not somebody that believes changing the manager is not going to improve the team, the football, the results, the ambition. I think 2 years is more than enough time to see a manager who spent a decent amount of money be at the helm. You can usually tell within 6 months if, hey, we are going places. Things look good. We're not getting the results that we want, but things look good. That's the most important part. The manager makes you believe in him, that he's going places. Klopp is the example here. We'll just stick with that. Postecoglou at Tottenham. I play football with Tottenham fans. I said to him, what's happened? You got busted. He goes, you know what? We had 10 men, but we still played really well. We were unlucky. He's going places. You feel it. You see the change immediately in Tottenham. They're a joy to watch. They take big risk. He says, that's how I play. In Japan, in Australia, in Greece, that's what I know how to do. And the players have understood that's what we're going to do. It does not matter what happens. Win, lose, or draw, that's what we're going to play. For me, Eric Ten Hag, not only has he not shown me we're going anywhere whatsoever, I wish I could speak his language. I have no idea, like Paul Scholes, like Les Ferdinand is saying, like many pundits have said on Match of the Day, we're not quite sure what Manchester United are. We're not quite sure what he's telling Bruno to do. We see Bruno as a 10. He can assist. He's creative. He's imaginative. He's inventive. He can score goals. He's sometimes the furthest player back. He's almost trying to be a Roy of the Rovers. I love Bruno. Bruno, for me, is the first name on the team sheet, but he's lost out there. He's lost out there. Me, Eric Ten Hag, thank you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. It's not personal. I promise you. I like him. No issues. It's like saying he will get it one day. It's like saying we colonized you for 100 years, and now we're celebrating the fact that you're democratic at the end of it. Inevitably, you're going to fucking be after 100 years. It's a little bit rich to tell me Eric Ten Hag at this point. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm just saying to you.
Listen, I'm going to get to the meat of it now. I believe there have been managers, if things went a different way, we would be in a much better position than we are today. Van Gaal is one of them. When Mourinho came, people hate that football, fine, whatever. For me, I said to you, when we went on a 30-game unbeaten run, I said, look, I'm not too interested in the football. What we're building here is a mentality. We're not losing games anymore. We're just not losing. 30 games unbeaten. We're winning or drawing. You're building a mindset saying we don't lose games. But what happened there is he wasn't backed. We backed Paul Pogba. We backed Martial. And we fucked him off. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. For me, when I say Antonio Conte, you have to understand the type. You have to understand the type of person that you have to understand the type of football that I like as well.
Yeah.
Listen, these guys don't need a friend. That's not what Manchester United needs as a manager. They don't need a friendly guy who hasn't won anything, who comes into the dressing room. They look him up and down and think, "Who are you?" Antonio Conte comes in there. I'm not your friend.
His wiggle blow off if he comes here.
Bro, it will blow off because he's going to give them heat. If Rashford does that, he's not even making it through the first half.
Okay,
these guys need a disciplinarian, bro.
Okay,
they've got one.
Okay, we got one, and you know what? He's not a real disciplinarian because the play power is too much. Big up Star Boss, is Steve. Steve, I'm sorry, but I'm at my friend's house and I'm being rude. And I'm doing a match reaction when I shouldn't be enjoying a dinner party. And I got them to watch Manchester United. But your boys were fantastic tonight. I hope we can do a show next week sometime, get you on. No problem. Happy to come on your channel as well. But I'm going to be wrapping this up slowly.
I just want to big up Palestine. I just want to big up Livramento today, killed it. I thought Joe Linton was mint. Absolutely mint.
What about your boy, Scott McTominay? Not bigging him up tonight?
No, not bigging anyone up tonight. Listen, guys.
They dropped him off at the border, guys.
I'm going to finish with this. Eric Ten Hag is not going to see Christmas. There was an image of Eric Ten Hag at the end of that game. He was stood on his own. He's lost. That's a man that's bamboozled. He's not going to see Christmas. He's getting sacked. He's getting sacked. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna make it to Christmas. And when he goes, I don't want a Nagelsmann. I don't want this type of managers. I want a hardcore guy like Simeone and Conte to fucking drill these guys. That's what you need. All right, if you're gonna go and get Ancelotti,
not with his football structure, not with his football structure, not with his
bro. Listen. Newcastle
No.
don't play nice football. Newcastle are hardworking, efficient with the ball.
No,
and
they play football. No, they
and I
play
love
football.
that, bro.
Sorry,
they're
they
not,
play football, mate.
no, bro. They're not this fabulous Manchester City type team that you're talking about.
No, they're not. They don't have to be.
Yeah,
not everybody,
exactly. They don't
not
have to be. They don't have to be.
They can pass the ball though. They can sustain attacks though. They can cut you open though, and that's what football team is.
They're an adaptable team.
We would have cut us open tonight. Our boys would have cut us open tonight. Let's get that right. That's the worst performance of the season so far. So don't twist that.
The worst still to come, mate. The worst still to come. I guarantee.
Bro, listen, that's what I'm saying. What's the point in hanging on to the manager? You can't say unless the Glazers go, I'm not changing managers.
Yeah, listen,
I'm not
I've
invested in
seen
that.
it for a decade. Nothing's changing. You've made your point, Mumbai. Big up. It's Jarvis. Are you Eric Ten Hag out? Do you believe that another manager can come and change this?
Well, as we have spoken earlier, I'm defending the manager's office, the door of the manager. Because I don't want to repeat this never-ending cycle of sacking managers. I think now we all remember what happened when Solskjaer got the sack and we brought in Ragnick. The season was already over. It was just a mess. So we might as well just let him have the season and let's evaluate when it's over for me, because nothing's going to change anyway.
Would you give him more money?
It depends.
That's what because January is coming. Let's say there's 70,
they
80,
ain't spending Jack and Ori.
But we don't have any money to give him. Our next paycheck is 1st of July. We are skint. The credit card is maxed out. We have no money. So unless we sell any players, no one's coming in. That's a fact. Or maybe the Qataris or Jim Ratcliffe comes in and throws money at the fire and try to fix it. But I don't think that will happen. Not yet, anyway. But this match, Joe Linton, you mentioned Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, those two guys, incredible footballers. The work rate, how all the recoveries, tackles, duels won. They are amazing, both of them.
We predicted it last night.
Yeah, and we saw it clearly that we lack a type of player like a combative midfielder who can go in the war and fight and never stop. And we have Bruno. He's like he tries everything. He tries to work hard, passes, be the number 10, number 6, number 8. But at the end of the day, he comes short when he can't fill all those roles by himself. So and with McTominay by his side, yeah, we had already lost before the referee blew the whistle, because those two guys, Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, stood there and watched McTominay and laughed inside themselves, because they knew this is it. This game we are going to demolish him. He had no chance. He stood no chance. I just want to bring out one thing. If you can bring out the screen, Nuruddin, I just want to show my point when it comes to McTominay and Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton.
We said it last night, Joe. I'll add it for you. Let me just get the super chat quickly. Everton should have been sacrificed an attacker for an extra midfielder. No, all of that shit is gone. Let me just get the super chat as well. Listen, big up to Andy. Big up to Steve Bye for the super chats. Let me just get the super chat. TMN says, Conte lost his mind at Spurs. They run poorly. Imagine him trying to get through to the owners. Jose couldn't do it. Honestly, I Mumbai, I love him to bits. But the level he thinks that this football club will be ready for Antonio Conte or something like Simeone is absolutely, you do not know everything about your football club. Who runs it, who the people in charge are. Those two will be spat out within 6 to 3 months. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you see here is the interceptions, tackles won, and recoveries. This is defensive work from a midfielder. And if you throw in Bruno Guimaraes here, you see all the blue triangles. If I remove them, I can show you Scott McTominay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Wait,
6,
can't you compare
7.
them, Jarvis? Can't you click on one and then on the
Yeah.
other team?
You see Scott McTominay against Joe Linton. And let's just, I'm not taking a dig at Kobe Mainu, but this is Kobe Mainu.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So if you have Scott McTominay and Kobe Mainu against Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton, you see there's no chance. So this is part of the problem why we lost. We don't have a combative midfielder.
But Jarvis, all due respect, if you watch football and you watch football, I didn't need to see this to understand it.
Yeah.
Scott McTominay is a ghost at every fucking game. But people finally realize that in a biggish kind of game when we play against a top team, this is the Manchester United have not beaten a top 8 team in the league for I don't know how long. For a very long time.
2 years, 2 years, brother. 2 years.
Nearly 2 years. So it shows you away from home. We've not beaten any team, big team, away from home in 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
That just tells you everything you need to know.
Just to illustrate my point.
Yeah. Listen, big up to you. Tom, you've got the last word of the show. Let's go.
Yeah. Look, like I said before, and I'll say it again. I don't want to go down this same pattern of rinsing and repeating with managers and everything. But at this point right now, we have no choice. He's burnt his bridges with half of the squad, trying to be a disciplinarian. It's backfired. The whole club's in turmoil. We've blown we've blown £500 million on a project that clearly isn't working. And the even more staggering thing, guys, is when they must have interviewed this guy, what has he said to them to even get the job of even being hired? What has he actually said? Because if you're Erik ten Hag and you're pitching to Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, you have surely got to mention, well, I play this beautiful football at Ajax. You don't sit there and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to play lethargic, we're not going to have
the
ball.
looks of it, he said to them boys, I will be your bitch. Hire me.
Pretty much. But at the end of the day, with how he works, he never did anything of major extent in his career anyway as a manager. He never he never won a Champions League. He never won anything, one of the top, so to speak, 5 European leagues in Europe. He'd never had experience outside the Netherlands. I mean, it's a graveyard shift coming to Manchester United and being the manager anyway. But at the end of the day, you've blown £500 million on nothing, basically. We don't know what the style of football is, guys. So what are we putting our money to?
It's hard to identify the added value.
Listen, I'll say it for what it is. If I'm Sir Jim Ratcliffe here right now, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm putting in, over £1 billion of investment.
I want a refund.
Nothing. I'm putting it into nothing, basically. There's no style of play.
It's this thing's ego.
And this is the fact.
In it.
That's the one thing that I was saying is anyway. Is if Ratcliffe and all these guys come in and all the cronies, Mitchell and Brailsford and all these guys, I want to start from the basics and start from scratch. If you're going to get rid of if you're going to get rid of anybody, I'd get rid of the CEO, the director of football, the coaching staff. I'd put everything in place so it suits them. That's what I would do from the start. But anyway, Nuruddin, I know you've got to go anyway. So
listen, big up to everybody. There's over 400 of you watching. Erik ten Hag is dead man walking. The football's unsustainable. I predicted it from fucking January. I knew this was going to happen. Who the fuck am I? I'm a guy who lives in Hume. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Big up to everybody who made the most interesting comments. Big up to everybody. No plan. We said it last night. No plan, no tactics, no management structure, nothing at this football club. Newcastle were there. They got new owners. The club completely transformed. It can happen. And I'm sorry to say, but if you want to buy the football club, buy it outright, Jim the Rat Radcliffe. Do not buy it by just doing what you're doing. Big up. Hector says, when Lisandro comes back, everybody's going to be doing U-turns. I don't know what is Manchester United's obsession to think one person can change all of this. Not one person can change it. There's no savior to save us. The club is rotten from head to toe, and Erik ten Hag, his football is unsustainable, and now he's just waiting to get paid. That's what's happening. He's sacking himself. Those of you who are Ten Hag out, he's going to sack himself anyway. But love and light to everybody. Big up Jarvis at Bowley 77. Bumbaye is never on that. You can get me on Twitter here if you're interested. And Tom, big up Tom Journalist 1. Make sure you follow him. We'll see you hopefully on Monday for the, maybe we're going to might do a call-in show on that show. But love and light, or people can just ask their questions. Peace, love, light, win, lose or draw. Bank us out, glaze us out. Free Palestine, free Congo, free anywhere where there's people who are oppressed, but especially Palestine. The bombing is continuing. We must stand against Zionism. We must stand against, because Zionism is racism, is supremacy. We must stand against any form of supremacy, especially when it's killing babies, women, children, and innocent civilians. Proud to be part of Manchester. When we're out on the street every other day, there's an action taking place, there's a protest, and around the world. Big up to everybody out there keeping their humanity, fighting for humanity. It's the only way. And anybody who wants to shadow ban this channel, fuck you. Anybody who wants to stop us from telling the truth and speaking the truth, fuck you. Eric Ten Hag, you came to Manchester United. We only wanted you because we wanted that football. You said you're not going to play that football. Good night, Vienna, for you, my friend. But I still don't believe sacking you is going to solve it all, because the fan base only remember their memory. Their memory loss is incredible. Nothing's going to fix this unless major structural and ownership changes in this football club. Nothing's going to change.
Antonio, baby. Antonio's going to fix this.
He wears a wig. Bumbaye, you got to go and rip it off for him before he becomes the Manchester United manager. And then I might take him. Peace, love, light. Take care, people. Good night.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.